What's up, everybody? A very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. Delighted to say that I'm joined by Chris Stonage of LFC Transfer Room. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, Craig. How are you, mate?
I'm better than you, man, by the sounds of it. I won't go into personal details, but let's just say you're in an unforced lockup at this point, mate. You're not going anywhere but those four walls.
Nah, man, it's not great, but at least I got my mum to come down and bring me some food. That's the only thing that matters, especially that tortellini that we all talk about.
Oh, I tell you what, man, mother's food is it's like medicine. You know, you can't beat a bit of mommy's cooking. Definitely. I'm with you on that one. And Mr. Paddy Murphy, how are you, sir?
I'm very good, Craig. How are we?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a nice, enjoyable, chilled week, but, you know, finally we got over the international break, because I won't lie, Paddy, I am not a big fan of international football.
No, I'm not usually, but I went to the Qatar game myself. I like going to the Ireland games, but yeah, and international breaks in general are not for me. It's all about Liverpool. No, it's always Liverpool. And when club football isn't on, I just feel empty inside. I don't know.
Obviously, Paddy, now we need to change the Ireland strip to blue, because that's clearly the way forward, mate. The presidential blue.
That kit was stunning, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I asked about it on Twitter. I was like, where can I get this? But apparently sold out everywhere.
Sold out.
I can't even get one either, man. I've been trying to get one in Elvery's, the only crowd that are really selling them. And sold out, unfortunately. If I want to go to Cork, I can get one, apparently. But I couldn't be arse driving 4.5 hours to get one.
It's a beauty, though. I wouldn't mind that all the time. 4-0, I'll take that every week.
There you go. Yeah, it was a cracking result. And then, look, lads, we've loads to get through. I can see the chat are in. Welcome, everyone. Great for you guys to join us as always. Thank you to Paddy and Chris for giving up some of their Friday evening. We've got a massive game tomorrow. But before we get underway, you know what I have to do, ladies and gentlemen. I have to talk to you about your balls. Paddy, how are your balls, mate?
I got a PC. They're fine. They're fine. Yeah, they're good. They're in good shape anyway.
Bet you've never thought this. I want to get into football content here, talking about me balls live on stream. That wasn't a dream, Chris, when you were in college, was it?
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I've had plenty of time to check them today, and they are fine at the moment, but they're not quite up to the standard they should be.
Yeah, I find
that. And if you want to get them to that standard, you know what to do, ladies and gents. If you want to get them to the standard Chris is talking about, and look, women are discerning in this day and age, but so are men. You know, I don't judge. You do you. But make sure you look after downstairs. And the best way to do it is, of course, by going and getting yourself the Performance Package 4.0 from our friends over at manscaped.com. You can get 20% off and free shipping. In the package, you will get the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer. Both of those are waterproof. They have a travel lock as well to make sure it doesn't go off in your bag, because, you know, going through an airport, the last thing you want to hear is inside your bag, because it's not really a good way to go through it. So the travel lock's got you sorted. You've also got your ball toner, your ball deodorant, Paddy's favourite, which is the boxer briefs. Paddy, I know you like the boxer briefs, even though you've no idea what I'm talking about. But let's just give it a thumbs up and pretend that you do.
Fit like a glove.
Chris, would you be a ball toner or a ball deodorant, man?
Oh, ball deodorant, mate. I just like the feel, you know. Sometimes when you get the Lynx Africa and you spray down there, it stings a little bit. But the ball deodorant, you got to make them smell nice.
I'm so proud of you, mate, for saying Lynx Africa. I mean, well played. Is there another deodorant in the world? I don't think there is.
Nah.
Not at all.
I don't trust anyone that doesn't use Lynx Africa. So well played, mate. I mean, if Lynx Africa did everything, I'd be Lynx Africa. No, but Manscaped's Performance Package, it's not to be sniffed at, ladies and gentlemen. 20% off and free shipping. Use our discount code WFM20. Right, gents. Tomorrow, where do we start with this one, Paddy? I think we'll have a little chat about the shambles that is the FIFA scheduling of games, mate, because our boys, not only can they not make it back for the game, but because they were playing in Brazil, they have to self-isolate for 10 days. The club have been quite clever, though, in that they've sent the lads straight over to Madrid, which means that they'll be able to play against Atletico on Tuesday. But it's not great, Paddy. It's not ideal when we don't have our goalkeeper, the best holding midfielder in Europe, available for the game through no fault of the clubs.
Yeah, the whole situation is shocking, really, and it's just indicative to the world we're living at the moment. But the Brazil FA need to sort it out. There seems like, why, I don't understand. But I don't know who's imposing the rules. I think it's FIFA. And that 10-day isolation is absolutely bizarre. The professional athletes, they're mostly fully vaccinated. It's just bizarre. Like, obviously, Alisson being out is a miss, but I think Kelleher will be a competent backup. Kelleher is a very solid goalkeeper. I shouldn't think against a team like Watford he'll be too. That could come back to bite me. But I think Kelleher will be all right. Mr. Fabinho is tough, but I think we'll survive without Bobby. But I think Fabinho is a key miss there. Our midfield is looking very, very thin. But yeah,
it is. Yeah.
As you said, though, getting them straight to Madrid is a great idea and very needed there, especially Fabinho and Alisson.
Chris, I was listening to the gaffer's press conference earlier on, and he wasn't best pleased with the way England are selecting their players, shall we say?
No, he certainly snuck that one in. That it's all. I don't know whether we'll talk about this later or not, but we had a predicted lineup stream on the transfer room earlier, and that's what tempted me to say Gomez will start just to prove a point to Gareth Southgate. But did he say something about there's a special selection for Mr. Stones? It's like I love Jurgen, man. It's so subtle, but it's brilliant. It's great fun, and he'll get away with it because he's Jurgen Klopp at the end of the day. But yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. Nowhere near as frustrating as the Fabinho and Alisson situation, though.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, Paddy. I'm getting a pain in my bollocks with our toys being broken, mate, every time we give them to an international team because Curtis Jones, prime example, didn't play any part in England's first under-21 game, then unnecessarily was brought on against the might of Andorra away from home, mate, in that vital win for England and comes back injured and unavailable for the game. I mean, you can understand why Klopp's pissed off.
Oh, absolutely. When they get to the international stage, they just don't care about the welfare of the players. Just they look at them as if they're cattle and just... There's no need to bring Curtis Jones, who's had a bit of a knock in the previous game against bloody Andorra. Like it's just embarrassing. Like Curtis Jones was nailed on for a start in this game, and now obviously that's scuppered. But yeah, I can Klopp rightly today. Absolutely furious, but I just wish we could go a solid period without injuries. But here we go again, Mamma Mia.
Here we go again. And look, I'm always nervous, Chris, about these 12:30 kickoffs on a Saturday, mate. At the best of times, but here we go again. New manager bounce for Watford as well, with obviously Claudio Ranieri in there, who, Klopp again, a little dig at Watford as well today over the managerial situation. I love it. I love our gaffer. He's a proper shithouse.
Yeah, I love Ranieri. I think one of his best quotes this week was he said he'll buy the players dinner if they keep a clean sheet, which is fantastic. But yeah, the whole Watford situation, I mean, like everyone outside of Watford's probably thinking, what on earth? But when they're inside, they're like, oh, okay, this is normal, another managerial change we move. 12:30 kickoffs is another one. I don't know if you remember 2015, one of Jurgen's first games away at Watford. And we had Adam Bogdan in goal.
3-0, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adam Bogdan doesn't ring a bell, Chris. Never heard of him.
How did that man ever play for Liverpool in any capacity?
Because he played well against us once for Bolton, that's why.
I was at that game, and that was painful, man. They had Emil Heskey and Idiger Johnson up front. It was horrible.
All I think of when I see Bogdan is the 118. That's it. That's all I think of when I see Bogdan is those two boys with the headbands on.
Funniest part about Bogdan is he looks as Irish as anyone, but he's Hungarian. Like it's such a random, such a random face for a nationality. When I think of Hungarian, I don't think of Adam Bogdan. He's like a prime Celtic looking sort of guy.
And we also had Galaxy as well. So yeah, I think we have a third Hungarian goalkeeper, if I'm not mistaken, at one point as well.
I couldn't get that name, but yeah, Galaxy. Look at Galaxy now in Leipzig. If only we knew. Well, I think we're all right.
Prince William himself.
He does look a bit like him, you know.
The hairline not looking too
I've never seen that before in my life, but fair enough.
Yeah, he does. He does look a lot like him. But yeah, as Paddy said, it's great to see Galaxy doing so well. Didn't work out for him at Liverpool, but he has gone and rebuilt his career at a good club in Leipzig and had plenty of big occasions. Gents, before we get stuck into Liverpool stuff, there was something that was sent early on in the week, and we were talking about this off air, and I want the people in the chat to play along here. So there's a list that was done by Bleacher Report in 2012 of the top 10 footballers predicted for 2020. Now, this list, I don't know where to go with it, lads. I mean, I'll start off at number 10. I never thought I'd be saying his name again on the Liverpool stream, Chris, but number 10 on the predicted list, be up there, top 10 footballers, as predicted by Bleacher Report, is Mamadou Sakho. How does that sit with you, sir? Mamadou Sakho, Crystal Palace's wonder centre-back.
I mean, it's crazy to think he captained PSG at like 18 years old. Like, and he never really fulfilled anyone with confidence in Liverpool, apart from maybe a couple of games in his last season where he was insane. But then he turned out to be on fat burners, then he didn't. But
he loved the Mexican supplements, didn't he? He was all over the Mexican supplements.
But yes, I can see what they were thinking, but it's like I don't think even when he came to Liverpool, 2014, that's 2 years after that, anyone saw him becoming anywhere close to that. So, yeah.
There's a comment there that says we ruined him. He ruined himself with his attitude and the way he just didn't pull into line for Jurgen Klopp. Paddy, I'll go with number 9 for you, mate. Now, I can understand this one as well. He's still playing for Liverpool right now. He's in the top 10 on this list. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
The thing is, like, I can't even ever see when that was a valid shout. It's a mad one. Like, Ox was, I don't know, man. I love Ox. He's a great guy. I think Liverpool should just hire him as a social media manager at this point. Give him a job as a social media manager. That's his best asset. But the fact him being 9th even then is mad. I mean, he was good at Southampton, I suppose, and had that couple of years at Arsenal, but unfortunately for Alex and ourselves, he hasn't quite reached that. But I do think that's largely down to injuries, although I don't think he would have ever been top 10 in the world.
Shots fired here for Chris. Shots fired here on Chris. Look, in Chris's head, Oxlade-Chamberlain still top 10.
I love the Ox, man. I love him. He's one of my favourite players. But I was fully on the Ox False 9 hype in pre-season, but sadly, it seems to have petered out. And I've seen some rumours this week as well. He might be going back to Arsenal.
It's time to go.
I mean, has the lad not suffered enough, Chris? Has he not suffered enough? Sending him back to Arsenal. Unai Emery, his greatest achievement, managerial experience. But in his own words, that week he beat Norwich. Best part of his career. His own words, not mine. Number 8 on the list, Chris. Another Liverpool player. I mean, we're just taking over this list. Another former Liverpool player. Why always me? Mr. Mario Balotelli. I don't know what they were smoking, snorting, drinking, inhaling when they made this list, but Balotelli, yeah. Chris. Balotelli.
He probably has the talent in his locker, but his brain is so in the mud. Like, I don't think his attitude was anywhere near wherever he was. I mean, if you get a motivated Balotelli, that was the good behaviour clause, if you remember, at Liverpool, which is
no fireworks in the bathroom clause.
Yeah, but yeah, his attitude was just stinking. I think that's quite a fair prediction because his talent was unbelievable. He could produce something out of nothing. But he never really did it, and I think as soon as he joined Liverpool, he sort of fell off.
You just know that somewhere Mario Balotelli's sitting there pissed off. He's only number 8 on this list. Somewhere in his head, he should be number 1. That's the end of it. Like, moving on to number 7, Paddy. It doesn't get any better for the Puro lads at Bleacher Report with this one. Unfortunately, Jack Wilshere is in at number 7.
Oh God! Wow.
Part-time footballer, full-time rehabilitation.
That's just that him ever being in the top 10 is mad English bias in itself. Like, he was good back in the day when he managed to stay 5th for a run of games. But my God, never that level. Like, that's a mad prediction. That's the worst one so far by far.
The first one, Chris, that I can actually kind of understand on this list is number 6, and that's Lucas Mora. I can kind of understand that one if I'm being honest with you.
100%. He was coveted by Man United for ages, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then
but they got Fred though, so who really won, Chris? Who really won?
Exactly. I mean, Fred can play for them for as long as he wants, mate. But Lucas, 35 million, I think, moved to PSG when he was just 19. He was okay, but they just outgrew him, and he's now gone to Tottenham. So it's probably at his level. I've
always had a bit of a respect for Lucas Mora, Paddy, to be honest with you. I always thought there was a decent player there.
Absolutely decent player. Look, sure, semi-finals in 2019, that hat-trick against Ajax, like, that's simply superb. And then Spurs made the fatal error of starting a half-fit Harry Kane against Liverpool in the final. And I remember when I actually was watching the game, I remember seeing the lineups come out for that, seeing Harry Kane was starting and knowing Liverpool were going to win it. Lucas Mora was in the form of his life, and they dared to drop him over Harry Kane. What's he won? Like, it's about, that's probably, he's never really recovered from that. I don't think Lucas Mora, he could have really fired Spurs to that Champions League, or certainly have given them a better chance that night even.
I'm right on board with you on that one, mate. I can't understand how they allowed Harry Kane to force himself back that early to play the game. It was clear it was never going to work. Moving to number 5, though, somebody who, has unfortunately had a serious illness over the summer, but somebody whose talent is in no doubt, Chris, and that's Christian Erickson.
Oh, unbelievable. I think we saw the true potential of Christian Eriksen at Tottenham. He was one of the
me and Paddy fucking seen him when he handed Ireland our ass.
That's true. I forgot about that.
5-1. Was it a hat-trick he got?
He was unplayable that day, mate. He was
literally unplayable.
So graceful. Obviously, such a shame to see what's happened to him. I think maybe at a peak, maybe 2017, he might have crept into the top 10 in the world.
Yeah,
but at 5, probably not.
Number 4, Paddy, another Liverpool player now on the list, Mr. Thiago Alcantara.
I think this is the first one where we can say at some stage or another he was top 10 in the world. Possibly, that period with Bayern, like, you'd have to say 2017 era, definitely, I would have said he was top 10 in the world. And he's still one of the best midfielders in the world now. You know what I mean? Obviously, injuries have been a bit hampering. Is that a word? That's the right word, isn't it? Hampering, correct? Yeah. But Thiago, this is the first one that's probably a hit. Like, he was definitely at some stage or another top 10 in the world.
Number 3 on the list is the poor man's Mohamed Salah, Eden Hazard. What do we think of this one, gents? I'm forever arguing with Chelsea fans about Hazard and Salah.
Overrated.
Look, this is my point, Paddy. I mean, imagine Mo Salah went 2 full calendar years without scoring. 2.
I've been fighting that campaign on TikTok from day one. I'm still getting stick for it. I will never ever concede the Salah Hazard debate. I never have, never will. People are only now like starting to more and more come on board, but I've been Salah from day one, obviously. Hazard, man, I've never seen a player like he was quality. Don't get me wrong, but very overblown a lot of the time.
Why do I got James Maddison last week and Barini this week. I mean, it's just basically.
I get fucking Grew and Dara O'Brien to count your blessings. You know what I mean?
I get Peter Griffin. So yeah, I think you're all right.
You can with Hazard and Salah. Like I think the general football fan will look at compilations and eye tests and say, "Oh, Hazard, he's so much more fluid." I don't even think that anymore. Like I think he's just so lazy. You see him at Real Madrid now. It's just like press, man. Press.
I hate that argument as well.
Everything.
It's always that argument in the Salah Hazard stuff. Say the people try to sound real edgy with their football opinions. Like it's not about stats; it's about an eye test. Just look at them on the ball. Who looks better? Right. Well, if Hazard had the better stats, it would most definitely be all about stats. I never get it's not all about stats. It most definitely is about stats. Not all about, but that's what matters. You know what I mean? You might look good on the ball. You know what I mean? I could put on a nice shirt, put my hair up. I could look slightly better than normal, but I'm still not better looking than someone as handsome as Craig, for example.
Well, no, there are many. There are, Paddy, in fairness to you now. Like,
exactly.
I mean, you know, we're no Fabio Barini's though, buddy. Do you know what I mean?
I know. You can do the celebration when he bit his hand, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved him, man. I was so sad he didn't kick on. He was such a nice bloke.
I think he was
Remember Rodgers when we signed him? Rodgers trying to tell us he was basically the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, and he was the first player to score a goal at Anfield for 40 years with red nets. There you go. Especially
2012-13, wasn't it? Yeah, they didn't like that.
Didn't like them at all. I don't like them all. Number 2 on the list, though, Paddy. Somebody, and look, I can get this one as well. Somebody who snubbed his nose to us. Somebody who's had his own health issues, but was a very, very good footballer back when this list was made. So Mario Götze, number 2 on the list.
Yeah, Götze. Like I really thought he would have been a perfect signing for the initial Klopp era. Quality player. Now I think he's playing straight over in PSV in the Netherlands. Quality player. That Champions League final winning, Champions League final team. You know, with Klopp, like what he done at Dortmund was unreal. But I think the moment he went to Bayern, and then that meant he couldn't play in that Champions League final. That was the moment his career started. I thought that was very horrible because the Bayern move didn't work out. Like I thought that's what I hate with the Bundesliga. The way the Bundesliga, Bayern could sign one of their biggest rivals' best players and stop him from playing in the final for Dortmund. I could never get over it. I think since then he kind of petered out, but my God, he was quality and definitely a good shout back then. Just didn't quite kick on.
And number 1 on the list, Chris, is the man who loves his sister more than anybody else, Mr. Neymar Jr. Never misses his sister's birthday, mate. Never.
I love that. I love that. It's so funny. There was probably a point where he was 3rd in the world, maybe 2018, maybe when he just moved to Paris Saint-Germain. And he did command a fee like that. He's world class. But I think it's people underestimate him because people overestimated him to begin with. Like people saying, "Oh, he's the next Messi, the next Ronaldo." He is only, I think, 8 goals away from breaking Pele's record for Brazil. Like it's unbelievable, and his goal and assist numbers are incredible. But he will be
still a prick, though. Let's be honest, he's still a prick.
He will be forever remembered for being a dick. Like that's how it is.
I'll tell you what winds me up, Paddy, about Neymar is I'll agree with anybody who says he's hugely talented. The man has the world at his feet. No denying that whatsoever. But if you look at Cristiano or you look at Leo Messi, you see lads that have left no stone unturned to make themselves the best footballers they can possibly be. I'll always look at Neymar and think, what could he have been?
Exactly. That's one thing I always say as well, Craig. Like as good as Neymar was, there will always be an element of just didn't quite even reach what he could have. As Chris was saying, like definitely at one stage was 3rd in the world. But you know what? With the potential he had, he could have definitely pipped. Now thinking about it, he never would have pipped Messi, but he definitely could have pipped Ronaldo. Like in terms of at the current time, he could have definitely. I had the raw materials to do that, but I just think going to the Ligue 1 and just going to the League On was a big mistake. Staying in Spain could have made him a superstar for the ages. Like the League On move, I think once you go to the League On, you're kind of saying, I don't really want to push on here, you know, because at the end of the day, no matter what to do in the Champions League, that league will never be taken seriously, and you know, it's a shame. But Salah's clear of Neymar.
I believe when we were starting to record this, I think they were losing tonight. Actually, when we were just starting the show, I think PSG were behind. Now, you know, they'll probably turn it around with 2 late penalties or something, but
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. I want to have a quick chat around the selection headache, perhaps, Chris, for Jurgen Klopp tomorrow. Obviously, it's looking like we'll most likely have Creevy and Kelleher in goal, which, you know, it's better than Adrian, let's be honest about it.
Yeah. I'm not worried at all. I think Queen Kelleher's got a real safe pair of hands. He's mature. You can see, I think, I don't want to base this in fact, but I think he gets on with the squad. He seems like a really nice lad. So, and PSG are losing as well. Absolutely brilliant. We love to see it. But yeah, I have no qualms with Queen. He'll look at a place at all.
Paddy, for you on the back four, mate, any changes other than Trent coming back in?
No. Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, and Andy Robertson. Although if there was a curveball in Costas to Tsimikas, I wouldn't be against it at all. But no, yeah, as you were for the back four with Trent coming back.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that, Chris. Would you change anything there?
I have a feeling he might just drop a Joe Gomez in there instead of Matip. Purely just to spite Gareth Southgate. But if I'm being honest, he'll probably go for Joel Matip.
Yeah, look, I think if anything, Joel Matip has been very important to Virgil van Dijk's rehabilitation because he's allowed him to, I won't say play at his own pace, but he's been so good, Matip, in the way he's helped lead that defence, Chris, that I think it's really been beneficial to us that Matip's been available for Van Dijk to ease his way back in.
100%. There is. I'm a strong believer, even though he made a couple of mistakes in previous games, that he is in the top 5 centre backs in the league. He's so consistent. The only thing holding him back is injuries. Otherwise, he'd be top 5 in the world, in my opinion. He's that good. And to get him for free, we got him for free, boys.
I'd say he's actually been better than Van Dijk this season. I know they've both been quality, but I think Matip has been our best defender by a mile. He's so underrated, and I love the man. I'd love to kiss his forehead.
I love it. Here's one for you, Jen. Somebody said this to me, and it could have been one of you guys, so forgive me if it was, but somebody gave a shout to, what if Fabinho wasn't around sometimes, slipping him in there to the DM role if need be for a bit of cover?
Well, he did play there a bit when he was younger for Schalke. Which means it wouldn't, but I don't think he has the legs. If I'm being honest, I mean, he's made of cheese and biscuits, mate. Like he can't run, tremendous amounts. And playing in midfield role, you see the amount of distance Fabinho covers. It is quite a lot, despite the fact he sits. So I don't think Matip really got the facilities for that.
I think it's an injury waiting to happen. Although he has the stones for it, for sure. The way he can dribble with the ball, the way he can pass.
Oh, you're not allowed to say stones, Paddy. You're not allowed to say stones today, mate.
He has the Gomez for it. He has the Gomez for it.
Into the midfield, gents. Obviously, no Curtis Jones, which is unfortunate. We don't know the situation with Thiago. Klopp was saying in the press conference today that even they don't seem to know if he will. So we'll probably take that as, no point in risking him maybe leaving until Tuesday. So where does that leave us in midfield? And Hendo slipping into the 6? We agree on that one?
I think Milner's a guarantee, but in the 6, Hendo, yeah. But I think a Milner appearance is guaranteed. Klopp, after an international break, Jimmy Milner's been there working his arse off in Kirby. So yeah, Milner's a guarantee with Hendo in the 6. And Naby lad.
There's got to be. There's nobody else there, really, to be fair. Naby
boys, I'm going to say it. I'm going to get trolled. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain should start. I think Oxlade start in midfield purely because Naby Keita has played 3 games. Get out! Get out! I think Naby Keita played 3 games in the international break. That would worry me, to be honest. I don't see him playing 4 games in a row. That would scare me. I save him for the Champions League. I think he's better for the Champions League. So I'd maybe risk Ox for 60 minutes, then put Keita on for half an hour. I don't know.
How do we have to risk us this soon into the season?
How
have we led to this?
He played the first game.
FSG, this is exactly why you should have bloody invested in depth. Oxlade-Chamberlain is being defrosted in a month into the season or something. Do you know what I mean? Let him do the social media. Let him do the Instagram stories on the match day and leave him at that.
I think we should give him a new contract with a £1 billion release clause, and it's just like Pedri.
Oh yeah. that might be an attractive offer for someone who
Make
has
him a
lost their mind.
freelancer.
Papa was
Freelancer on
actually
Instagram.
speaking again today. We'll get into the front three because look, let's be honest, it's going to be a conversation about will it be Jota or Firmino, lads. You know, it's going to be Mane. It's going to be look, we think it's going to be Mane and Salah, but it's Jurgen Klopp, and I've learned a long time ago never to second guess Jurgen Klopp when it comes to team selection.
No.
I reckon it will be the two boys, but I think Firmino's nailed on. I think Jota had a bit of a knock with Portugal, so I think Firmino's nailed on here, especially Klopp with his statements. You know, all the other Brazilians are gone, so you know maybe Firmino as a Brazilian, just an added little story. I think I'd love a bit of Firmino. I love that man. Something different about when Firmino scores. I don't know. I feel something extra in my manscaped balls.
Little tingle, huh? It's not just a toner working its magic.
I think some people will agree. It's just an extra little something when Bobby scores. Like, I feel it's so wholesome. It's
the world's a better place, Paddy, when Bobby smiles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It is. What a beautiful man with those.
He's my favourite player in the football club.
Yeah, completely legitimate teeth. I love them.
He's reinvented. He's got his own shade. Firmino has his own shade. You go into the teeth whiteners now. There's like yellow, white, golden white, and then Bobby Firmino, like which is full on sunglasses.
Yeah, literally blind you. No, but I love to see Firmino. Listen, don't get me wrong, Jota either, but it's a Firmino type game for me for some reason. I think he could have a field day, and he's been getting a couple of goals as well.
I agree with Paddy on that one, Chris, about Firmino, because we know Jota came back from the Portuguese camp. He's available for it, but no point in risking him unnecessarily if we can hang off till Tuesday.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. Gary's just said Mane, Ox, and Salah, and I'm fully behind it.
What's the name of the lad I'm blocking again?
Gary John Christians has just said Mane, Ox, and Salah, and I respect the man for his bollocks, but I think it has to be Mane, Salah, Firmino. I mean, they're trusted front three. Bobby, I agree 100% with you, Paddy. Bobby goals, they just touch you inside.
Bobby Dazzler.
Makes you so warm, just because we all love him so much. And I'd 100% start him. Like, I think it's a perfect game for Bobby.
Yeah.
Especially when Bobby puts the whole Arsenal team on its arse. All the defence, every one of them, sends them off to the shop for a pint of milk. You love to see it.
I just think like when Bobby's playing, it just brings that front three to a different level. The way he holds up the ball and creates the space for Mane and Salah, like it's just prime Jurgen Klopp Liverpool, and especially Salah looking to score against Watford again. Like I just think it. Not only does he offer the goals, but he'll accentuate the two other boys as well. So yeah, Firmino, I think he will start, and I'm looking forward to a Bobby masterclass again.
Anything to be said for Takumi Minamino or Divock Origi, gents, around this one?
I think we can move on.
Look, I think I saw a quote earlier. I can't remember who it's from, so I do apologise. That someone said Takumi Minamino doesn't take advantage of his minutes. I've not heard more bollocks than that in my life. I mean, he scores goals.
Stay tuned, Pat. We'll get to more bollocks by the end of it, don't worry.
Come on. He came in that Norwich game, scored twice. He played really well when he came on against Milan. Oh, man, it just really annoys me. But, yeah, I wouldn't start him. He can't be in that game. Maybe, might get a cheeky cameo in the next game after that. Maybe United. United.
No. Yeah. Speaking of United, actually, did you guys see? I know Connor sent it into the Discord group. So the Football for All post where the supercomputer has been out crunching the L numbers, gents, ahead of the season. They've predicted the final Premier League table, and no surprise really at the bottom three: Norwich, Southampton, maybe a bit of a shock, and Burnley. But what got me, Chris, was Newcastle avoided relegation with 29 points, according to this supercomputer. 29 points, mate.
Jesus.
I mean, that's some Football Manager kind of stuff, and maybe that's why it's a supercomputer. It's also got Brentford in fourth. Now, I love Brentford. I'm fully on the Moneyball train, but no, they're not going to finish fourth. And if they do, clip this. If they do finish fourth, I'll give you 50 quid, whoever's watching.
Stranger things have happened, though.
Stranger things have happened, but 29
the supercomputer wasn't called the Commodore 64 by any chance, was it? Look, I'm all for pushing United down to fifth place, by the way. I'm all over that. I mean, a season of Europa League football for Cristiano. I mean, he'd be gone. Let's be honest about it. He wouldn't stay. He'd be gone. Not a hope in hell he'd stay.
But Ollie would stay, man. Ollie has to stay. Ollie's at the wheel.
Definitely.
World class manager.
Yeah, master tactician.
Oh, mate, Ronaldo in the Europa League. Can you imagine? Not that there is much of a debate. Messi is always clear in my eyes, but that would completely finish that debate.
Just if anyone ever says anything about slandering Messi, just send them a picture of Ronaldo with a Europa League jersey on.
Do you reckon he'd do a C against like Barte Borisov?
He would. He'd score a tap in against Ferenc Vossi's under sevens, and he'd do a C. He's shameless. The man is shameless.
I genuinely wonder what would happen because, it's fair to say he threw his toys out of the pram at Juventus because it didn't work out. And look, I'm not knocking Ronaldo as a footballer. Ronaldo's a phenomenal footballer, but would he play in the Europa League at this stage of his career? Because he's been on about, coming back to United and I feel like I'm home. And, I won't begrudge the United fans their moment. It was nice for them to have him back. But, would he be lining up there on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock, Chris, over in somewhere in Eastern Europe, maybe to play... I don't know, fucking part-time, I don't know, blah FC.
If there's, he's probably forced to, but if he has to do it, then he'd be gone. Like he'd dip. And really interesting comments earlier from Gary Neville. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's on that overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was saying Ronaldo is an unbelievable player, and he'll obviously add something. But I do think, and it was my feeling when he came in, that he takes away from the team.
Yeah, I said the exact same thing when he signed. I made a video. People were like, "Oh my God, Ronaldo!" The only reason he's like, I don't think he's a great player, but I didn't think it made much sense in terms of bettering Man United. I think it doesn't better them whatsoever. It actually, the goals he's getting, all well and good, but he's taken away goals from the likes of Greenwood, who has the potential to be their next star boy. I think Greenwood is different gravy. I think he's one of the best finishers in the league, if not world football. And Ronaldo coming in has actually hindered Greenwood. I think we were saying, but Ronaldo in the dressing room and Ronaldo's not going to be giving Greenwood one-on-one drills. Like, Ronaldo's there for himself. He doesn't give a shit about Greenwood, let's be honest. Ronaldo's there for himself. I thought it was a stupid decision. It was purely a brand thing and purely despite Man City. And yeah, I do think if they ended up in the Europa League, he'd be gone to Sporting because I believe that's where he wants to finish off.
Chris, do you agree?
Yeah, I can't see it. I can't see it, mate. If he does, and to go back on the pressing thing. I saw some numbers earlier as well. I think Cavani's presses with 13.7 per 90, which is, not bad. And then Ronaldo's at like 6. Like the myth is that he works hard. He doesn't work hard. He does not track back. No, it doesn't happen. You see with Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, up and down. They don't hang around on the halfway line. Oh, mate, for me, it makes no sense.
No. And they won't win anything with him big anyway. Let them get the Carabao Cup or something. I couldn't give a shit, but that'd be funny.
I love this. I love that there's more people now that are as ballsy as I am when it comes to just saying stuff. Because I'm sick of the fucking media, mate. I'm fucking sick to death of the loving that these fuckers get and the way they get let off the hook at times. I mean, it's a fucking shambles. Let's be honest with it. But ladies and gentlemen, there is a little bit of a headline around today, and a lot of people are asking in the chat about what's the new owner thing. So, Jerry Cardinal, we were speaking about this before we went live. Jerry Cardinal, obviously part of the investment firm that bought 11%, Chris, of all of FSG's holdings for, what was it, $750 million, something around that. He has refused to rule out potentially maybe buying more shares or more of Liverpool at some point in the future. To me, mate, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, because what's a Jerry Cardinal, what's a John W. Henry? Exactly. They're still not Saudi Arabia, mate. We're still not owned by an entire country.
Exactly. Yeah, it is sort of it's the better the devil almost. Jerry Cardinal's a very rich man, like every multi-billion football owner. Will it change much? No, he only we got told in, I don't know if it was March or April, when he invested the 750 million that would go towards recruitment. That clearly isn't the case. But
the lads can have a new computer if they want one, though. So John Octoberg's all tickety fucking boo. I got myself a new MacBook. Don't give a bollocks about the playing squad.
Don't forget it, mate. Don't forget it. It's like,
I laughed at that, man.
Right, I was so
it's great. We can get the supplies we want. It's Liverpool Football Club, and why do you? Of course, you get the supplies you want. What's he gonna say? Oh, Jesus, sorry lads, bit tight this week. I can't think I can spare for you. Fucking hell,
as I say, I don't see much changing if Jerry Cardinal does take over. Maybe a little bit more investment because he maybe wants to make a statement. And as we said, he buys to lose. And when you've got that much money, it's like a plaything. So
what has he got to lose?
Just money in it.
Generally, though, like, I don't want an owner like Manchester City's owners or Newcastle's owners. I genuinely, hand on heart, don't. But I do want somebody that, would let the purse strings a little bit looser. So I'm kind of in the middle on this. Like, obviously, the whole FSG thing is a different debate, but with regards to the type of owners that we have, I think, if FSG to loosen the purse strings a little bit more and maybe be a bit less risk averse, and I don't mean going absolutely nuts here, lads, and going and dropping 300 million quid in a transfer window, but I can see that we could maybe take on a small bit of debt, Chris, as an example.
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. Yeah, we all see FSG and FSG out. It's every day on Twitter. It's constant. I mute it at this point. But yeah, it'd be great if they put a bit more money in, but they're not going to. It's a self-sustainable model now. How far that takes you, I don't know. And maybe they will put money in to try and elevate us when Jurgen's gone. But while Klopp's there, and it feeds into people's arguments that Klopp has carried them, they won't need to invest because he keeps on achieving. He keeps getting Champions League football. So. It's not going to change yet.
It's like if we're going to change owners, it has to be a bigger jump than like Jerry Cardinal. It's like a sidestep. Like what difference would you really see? We need. I'm looking up. I'm just googling countries in the Middle East. Qatar have PSG, Saudi Arabia have Newcastle, Bahrain's there. Qatar, Qatar. They have PSG. Is that why I already said that? Bahrain,
Abu Dhabi of Manchester City.
Oh, you are. Oh, yes, exactly. So someone with loads of money, ridiculous money, just come and spend it. Like I know you said you wouldn't want them owners, but realistically, low key, as long as they didn't have human rights issues, because obviously we don't want that. Well, look,
there's a serious conversation to be had around this, lads, because again, the media are pussyfooting around this, and whatever we say, there are severe human rights violations going on in some of these countries. And look, no owners are squeaky clean. Nobody gets to that level of wealth, whether you're in business or a country or whatever, being squeaky clean. We've got to be fair about this. But I think Amnesty International have raised a good point. I think Jurgen Klopp has raised a good point. This all seemed to get swept under the carpet, Paddy, by just the guy that runs Saudi Arabia going, oh, no, I promise you, also, I'm not going to be running the club. The country won't be running the football club. Just our fucking money, mate.
Yeah, it's it's a sticky one still. It's like,
and I love the Geordies, so I genuinely am happy for them. They got rid of Ashley. The Newcastle fans are brilliant,
but I don't think there's much the Premier League and everyone can do if they've went and proved that the Saudi Arabian government aren't involved in the day-to-day running. There's only so much they can do. If they've went and shown that,
if it's their money, though, if it's their fucking money, how can they not be involved?
I know, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's bizarre.
It's like this whole Red Bull thing again with Leipzig and Salzburg. It's got to change it now. We're but still on with the same company. So it doesn't matter though. We don't have Red Bull in the name anymore.
That's why it's baffling. Like it obviously is going to be run by the Saudi Arabian government, and it's because it's literally the public investment fund of Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? So it's a bit mental. But listen, it's a hard one because I don't want to begrudge Newcastle, and people might think that's what it is. It's not that at all. It's like if there's severe human rights violations, like how can that go hand in hand with the game of football?
What the fuck do you have to do to fail that fit and proper person's test? I mean, honest to Jesus, what do you have to do to fail it? Do you know what I mean? I'm baffled.
We signed the contract 30 years ago for the Premier League, and we've been on this road for 30 years. It's nothing different. So I just take it as it comes. Like every owner, I'm almost certain of it will have some form of issue, as you mentioned, Craig. So it's like at the end of the day,
it's an archaic system.
The bubble will burst in the end with football. There will be a bubble burst. It's done.
But look, every club has the dirty laundry. Look, our sponsor, Standard Chartered, they were pulled up not so long ago. So, no, our hands aren't squeaky clean on this either. But Chris is right, Paddy. We sold our soul back in 92 when the Premier League was made. Football sold its soul in England. Let's be fair about it. And every season that goes by, and I don't know if I can speak for everybody here, but I'm finding it harder and harder and harder to talk myself back into top-level football. Like, the Super League to me would have been the last straw. That would have been the end of me watching football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it seems like an extreme, but it would have been. The Super League would have been an alien concept. That's not the football we've grown up to love. I've grown up to love the Premier League, the Champions League, not so much the domestic cups. Can take them or leave them. Like it is the Premier League and the Champions League. Let's be honest. Like you don't wake up and get
get excited for the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. It's all about the Premier League and that format, like, and it would have just ruined the whole football pyramid in England and in other parts of the world. Like, what are clubs in League Two, League One, and Championship? What were they meant to do? It would have just ruined it. And I don't think it's the last we've heard of that. But as I would agree with you, Craig, if the Super League had have been established, I would have just stopped. I would have just stick to Gaelic football, like over here.
I want to pull up this one. Why is Klopp always complaining? It's embarrassing. No, my friend Adam. It's because Klopp has the balls to say what other people won't fucking say. That's what's actually going on here. Jurgen Klopp has the stones to actually back his position, to speak about vaccinations, to speak about owners, to speak about the fact that things aren't being done correctly. Like him or don't like him, he has the balls to say what we're all thinking.
And it's
Manscaped groom balls, by the way.
Deflection tactics as well. I mean, you remember when we lose, he complained about the wind. It's to take pressure off his players. In the day, he's moaned. It's like, oh, Klopp said this, not, oh, Salah had a bad game. It's all about, oh, Klopp blamed the wind. Like, it's brilliant management, honestly. It's fantastic.
He's a genius.
I have to say, though, I think as football fans, and I include myself in this as well, we're massive hypocrites because one week we'll mock an opposition manager for something that they have to say about player welfare, as an example, and the next week when it hits our club, we'll be jumping on board the same bus. So sometimes I just think, as a set of fans, as a collective, Paddy, we kind of got to just look at the bigger picture sometimes with regards to the greater good of the game, and that means for us, even as Liverpool fans, we're in a very, I suppose, privileged position that we know we're going to be up at the top of the table every season. We know we're going to be in the top half. We're going to be in the Premier League. And we often at times forget about clubs in the Championship, League One and League Two, which, are the lifeblood of the game, really, if we're being honest about it, right?
Exactly. They're the bread and butter, really. Like, you know what I mean? It's cliche. And it's like, oh, it is. It's true, though. Like, they're the foundation. It's a pyramid. And without the bottom of the pyramid, the top doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there is a bigger picture involved here. But, yeah. No, you're spot on. Like, you have to be mindful of the grassroots and the bread and butter. Like, and realistically, like, you have to remember, like, I don't know what I was going to say there, but yeah, I'm spot on.
No, but for everybody who goes on as an example about FFP, we do have to look at FFP, but every time you're now where UEFA and FIFA have their money, which is a not inconsiderable amount of money that these boys have in their bank accounts, but they're now going up against Manchester City, as an example, who have the entire backing of a fucking country to fund their legal challenges, or Newcastle, who have the entire backing of a country, even though they're not using the country's money, but they are using the country's money. So, at this point, what point is it fit for purpose anymore? Because, like, UEFA, with all the money that they have, and it is a lot of money that UEFA and FIFA have, they couldn't take on Manchester City. They had to have it pointed out to them that their own statute of limitations stopped them from being able to actually put Manchester City's charges up to them over what happened with FFP. And Manchester City's lawyers knew that in 10 minutes. So what type of fucking Better Call Saul pound shop merchants are FIFA and UEFA employing in these cases? Because they can't even enforce their own rules.
No. UEFA trying to pretend it was sickening. I mean, they're saying, "Oh, we're going to save football from the Super League," but yet they're putting more money into their back pockets. It's so hypocritical, man. But these people don't care because they're rolling in it.
Yeah.
But we do. We're the poor suckers, the people that are watching the stream, the people who are going to tune in to watch the game to our 12:30, the people in Australia who are watching it at stupid o'clock, or in America at stupid o'clock, the family who have to go out and buy 2 or 3 kits for their family, the people who have to now have an Amazon Prime subscription, a Sky subscription, a BT subscription to watch football. Like, it's
bizarre.
It's no longer the working person's sport. It is now, whether we like it or not, gents, it is a form of entertainment. So at what point, I suppose my roundabout way of getting to this is, are we no longer fans and customers? At what point do we accept that in our own minds that shit, you know what, they can easily replace us with 1 million people from the Far East or 1 million people from North America or whatever it might be. It's a global game now.
I think it's a sad reality, but realistically, to the clubs, we are customers. And to the crux of the clubs, we are seen as customers. You buy the merchandise and we put the money in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you took the fans away from the stadiums, for example, let's say, but the club was still making money, they really wouldn't care. Which is it's a terrible thing to say. Now, that's not across the board, but at the end of the day, we are customers. But I'm still a fan. Like, I don't want to be thinking of myself as a customer, but it is a business, unfortunately. Like, and with the more money that's getting, well, what you said there about the statute of limitations, UEFA couldn't even take on Man City. That's when you know you're in a dangerous game, when the governing bodies of our game cannot
go ahead against one of their clubs. That's when can Man City are above UEFA? Like how does that work? How does the financial fair play in place when the governing body can't take on a club? It's just crazy.
I think that the skullduggery that went on between Manchester City and the way that they were trying to keep their fight with FIFA quiet, or UEFA really quiet, and that the Mail, gents, and I never thought I'd be talking about the Daily Mail for investigative journalism, but they were the ones who had to go to a room at the back of a courtroom that was down some stairs around the corner, past the fucking moat keeper, tell 3 riddles to this lad, jump over, pay the ferry to the ferryman, jump across, and eventually find your way to a court that you're not allowed into, that is closed off to the public, that they had to fight to get themselves in for, just to find out what was going on in the game. Like that's the lengths that they're going to in this day and age, gents. It's mental.
Football's a reflection of society, mate, at the end of the day, and it's all fucked. So let's just enjoy it while we can. It's very depressing and doom and gloom, but we move. Let's up the Reds.
Jeez,
the Reds have got no money, but we'll still win the league.
The Reds have got no money, but we'll
back
still
to the
win
old
the league.
supercomputer. So the supercomputer have predicted Chelsea to win the Premier League this season. They've got them playing 99 points. Again, the scabby bastards wouldn't even give them the 100, but 99 points there for Chelsea, who have lost 1 game all season, Paddy, according to the supercomputer.
That Chelsea team is by no means a 99-point winning team. If a team that plays like Chelsea gets 99 points, I have nothing to say. I would feel ill. That would be. I don't think that's going to happen. We've seen Chelsea's frailties, and as the season progresses, they will be found out even more and more and more. And I actually fancy Brentford to get a result the weekend.
Ooh, I'm actually going to be doing that game. I'm going to do a watch along of that game on my other station on Saturday evening, tomorrow evening. Just because, again, Brentford are a good side, and I enjoy watching the way Thomas Frank has them set up, Chris. They play a good brand of football, very easy on the eye.
Oh, it's great. I really enjoyed our game with them. I knew it would be an absolute stormer, and it lived up to it and more. But yeah, Chelsea 99 points. Really? I don't think any team's going to get over 85 this year. I think we've got such a good title race.
I think 79 could win it this year. I've seen different projections and stuff.
Like,
as low as 79 could genuinely win it. Purely to do with the quality that's up at the top, and they're going to take the points off each other.
Yeah, 100%. And I do think that the best of the rest, for example, like your Leicesters, your Evertons, your West Hams, I won't say Leeds, but the Leeds as well, are getting better. And even the Brentfords, they are getting better, elevating, and will take results off the top teams.
And by the way, what is a supercomputer? What differentiates a computer to a supercomputer? That's one thing I've always wanted to know.
It's a Nintendo that upgraded itself to a Super Nintendo. That's all I can. I don't know, mate. It's obviously some machine that is no longer just whacking out Bitcoin and mining digital currency. So they had a little bit of time to throw together a league table. It's got Chelsea in first, Liverpool in second, according to the supercomputer, with 89 points. Manchester City in third, or with 76, and then Brentford, as we spoke about, in fourth place. Can you imagine if Brentford get into the Champions League?
I'd love to see that. It won't happen, but that'd be class.
Oh, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Brentford,
well, honestly,
Bernabeu.
I don't think it's going to happen as early this season, but like with the project they have going on, Moneyball-esque, that would not be out of the realms of possibility. Like just the way they move. Not this season it is, but down the line, 2-3 years of stabilizing themselves, who knows? They could definitely make a challenge for it.
They then have United in fifth and West Ham in sixth, with Everton in seventh place. Realistic enough there, to be fair. I mean, you can imagine United, West Ham, Everton in and around the European places, definitely. I think that's fair enough. The eighth place, though, was a bit of a surprise, Chris. They had Brighton up in eighth place. Graham Potter doing good things there.
Fully beyond this. I'm a football hipster, mate. Graham Potter is a world-class manager. I'm telling you now, I would have him at Liverpool after Jurgen Klopp. That is how much I rate him. I think he's quality. Last year, XG, FC, we all joked about it, but this year they were guaranteed to get better because that's what XG is, effectively. And yeah, they've been exceptional. They're outside contenders for top 6 for me.
Yeah,
I do like the way they play football. I like their recruitment as well. I like what they've done, obviously bringing in Bissouma. Then they've brought in the young lad from Chelsea, a fullback whose name is escaping me at this moment in time. Tariq Lamptey, bringing him in. Lamptey was very unlucky. He was coming ahead of him in those positions at Chelsea, who obviously have a fantastic youth system there. But I want to finish up tonight, gents, with a little conversation around Mohamed Salah's contract, because there was an article that came out yesterday that suggested Liverpool may be closing in on a deal in and around £385,000 a week for Mohamed Salah. Look, I'm fully in the camp, Chris, of give the man within reason what he wants, because one, how do we replace him? And two, protect his value. I keep banging on about this. Sign him up, and if in 2.5 years' time his numbers or the club feel he's starting to wane a bit, at least you've protected his value, because a 31-year-old Mo Salah is still going to be worth a good chunk of money.
Absolutely. I don't think give the man what he wants, give him what he deserves.
Fair.
385 grand a week. I mean, there's players on that in the world that are not even in the same scale as Mo Salah. He's getting better, and he will get better. You've seen the shred of the man. He's just beautiful. I'd love to caress him. But then, he's just, I just love him, boys. And they've got the orange top there. I have to do it. And also for value-wise, think about it. If he's on 380 grand a week, that's around, say, 75 million pounds for 4 years. You ain't gonna get a better replacement for 75 million, and you got him for 4 years then. Just an unbelievable piece of business, I think, and easily makes you money.
Absolutely. And Paddy, again, we look at players had the longevity in their careers these days. Mohamed Salah strikes me as a James Milner type of guy who looks after himself off season, during the season. And to me, mate, he looks not like he's playing for a contract, just looks like he's enjoying life, enjoying his football, and he knows he's worshipped here.
It's just this bizarre thing about, you look at a footballer at their age and you're like, oh no, Jesus, +4, he'll be 32. Oh no. Mohamed Salah isn't going to miraculously become shite overnight or the next couple of years. He is a phenomenon. He is a physical specimen of sheer beauty, and I've gone on about his, we don't want to get into that. That's for a different type of show. But give him the money, as break it down. 75 million it's working out if you pay the contract. Triple that figure. You couldn't buy someone to replicate those numbers in the Premier League. You know what I mean? So he's worth every single penny. And as you said, don't give him what he wants, give him what he deserves. He deserves it.
I think Chris nailed it there.
Yeah, I seen a comment there. Salah could go to Qatar and get the every hour. Fact. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
Again, the club have to be aware of this as well. Look, I like the fact that the club evaluate these things and want to pay people what they think is worth as well. Because, look, Mohamed Salah, he doesn't go publicly talking about these situations. Rami Abbas does a little bit, but Mohamed Salah, he delivers, Chris, week in and week out. He got his first break this summer, his first actual bit of a rest, and look at what he's come back doing. Man's joint top scorer in the league with 6, and he looks like he's about to score 2 or 3 every single game. He's just in a great place at the minute.
He reminds me of, not in playing style, but in the expectancy of Suarez. It is every time he gets the ball, you expect him to do something. He's getting those numbers. I can honestly see him scoring 40 goals this season again. He's done it. He's done it before. Why not again? He got 31 last season in a struggling team. I mean, he's just getting better and better. He's just brilliant. I love him. Makes me smile. Makes me happy. Makes me smile.
And Paddy, I'm a bit of a schneidi fucker on these things as well. I've heard a lot of stuff about people saying, destabilise the dressing room. Who the fuck's it going to destabilise? They've all signed new contracts. They've all agreed, well, I think I'm being paid fairly. So I don't see who it unsettled. And I think also that's very unfair to the lads in the dressing room. They know that Mohamed Salah is a special talent.
Yeah. If you're giving Salah whatever it is, 350, you're not going to have Adrian San Miguel going to say, but I think I deserve, 500k. You've Salah this. They know what they are. You know what I'm saying? The shitters know they're shitters. With all due respect, I'm not saying it. They're not going to miraculously go up and ask Henry for an extra 50k. They want to win as much as us fans. You know what I mean? They want Salah to sign a new deal. It's a project. They are fans as well. They are as eager for Salah to sign a contract as us. People are acting as if they're sitting there jotting down, he's getting this. Oh, no. I'm not playing another game unless you give me 20k more. It's not going to happen. It's not like that. I think this destabilization shite is nonsense. And it's just an excuse people are making to, give FSG a pass, and they don't get one for Salah. Don't give him a deal and there'll be the uproar. I've
got to be really honest about this. I think we're robbing Salah at 380 grand a week if he signs that deal. Honestly, I think he could go, as was pointed out, to PSG, to Qatar, elsewhere, and easily go past the 500,000 a week. Easily. David De Gea is on that type of money nearly at Manchester United. Very good player, good goalkeeper, important to the team, but not as important. as Mohamed
Exactly.
Salah has been. Somebody who's been our top goal scorer pretty much every year since he joined the club.
I'd be very interested to see his bonuses. I'd be very, very interested to see them. Like, have 50k every time you score. Like, honestly, I don't care. I think he's that good. And Liverpool love this this tiered system of bonuses, scoring X, Y, Z, winning the trophy. That's why we've got one of the highest wage bills in the league. But yeah, I'd love to see his bonuses, to be honest.
I wouldn't. I'd just start crying, mate. I won't lie to you. I'd be in tears here. Do you know what? I'm a bit of a fucker in these things. I often think to myself, if I was a Premier League footballer and I was paying 40, 50% of my wages of this 200, 300 grand a week wages to the tax man, I'd be wanting the cunts out repay from my fucking front, outside my house every week, digging the roads up and putting them back down again, Paddy. I'd be, do you know what I mean, man? Imagine onto the council.
Absolutely, yeah.
You and I know what the county councils are like in Ireland, mate.
Yeah.
My old lad used to work in the council, and all he did was breastfeed the shovel.
The county council workers in Ireland are a different breed. It's a stereotype has never been so spot on. There's some boys, I tell you.
I've got a mate who works in the county council. He sent me a video today of him wheeling his chair around the fucking room. There's nobody else in there, and he's still inside in his green, bib on and everything. Like, fuck, I swear to God.
Fair play to them. Maybe it's something we should get into. Easy money.
That's it, yeah. Maybe we should. Should, Paddy. Maybe me and you should run for election over here, Paddy. That's what we should do.
I think it's possible. Get the lads to vote. Very possible.
So how are we feeling ahead of tomorrow's game? Then I need a prediction from you both before we move towards finishing up today. So Chris, I'll come to you first. Give me a score prediction, and if you want to throw in some scorers, why not?
Absolutely, mate. Well, quick plug. I spoke to Adam Leventhal for the LFC Transfer YouTube channel, and he's a Watford athletic journalist, and he said that Nwaneri fits Watford's mould more, and he will give them a bounce. As I mentioned, the dinner earlier. I will say though, I do think Liverpool will cruise it. We'll get an early goal, and I think we'll win 2 or 3-0. I'm going to go.
Chris, you're going to be on here for a match reaction tomorrow, mate. So you will live and die on this fucking hill.
I want this to be quick. And if it doesn't have, if we get battered 3-0 again, Sal rips us a new one once more. I will eat humble pie, but I think we will cruise it. I'll go 3-0, Mo Salah 2, and 1 for Bobby Firmino to make us all warm inside.
Paddy, if Chamberlain scores tomorrow, I'm not coming on. I'm not looking at his smug Fabio Barighi looking face.
I really hope that man doesn't see the light of the pitch. Please, for the love of God, no. I'm sorry, but no, my prediction.
Like him that much? I mean, I don't mind Chamberlain. I like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but I'm a bit frustrated by the situation.
Yes,
he's had his chances. He's had his bloody chances, man. I'm sick of he's a nice guy. He's given us good moments, but it's time to go. If it's big 2021, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, you know what I mean. But anyway, I don't want to hate on him too much. Jesus Christ! But I'm going with a 3-1. I do think we'll get like 3 or so goals, but I see Ismail Assar on the counter sneaking a goal, perhaps. But I don't want to be like OTT here. But a game like this is, if you lose a game like this, kiss goodbye to the Premier League title. This is not a game you can slip up in. I don't no, but I'm serious. Like, if you go, like, it's a bit extreme, but you can't lose to Watford at home, no matter the circumstance, no matter the manager bounce, no matter the different variables. This is a win. It's a must-win game. We've drawn our last 2. We need to win this game.
I don't disagree with you. We should be looking to beat Watford at Vicarage Road. We should be, but I'm always just nervous about these 12:30 kickoffs and the international break and Klopp not having much time to work with the guys, which is why I agree with Paddy when he said Milner's probably a certainty to start. I mean, he's been there all week working on the training ground, and I think Paddy's right. I think
it will be Milner. Vicarage Road. Yikes. Whoops. I don't know. Why did I think it was at Anfield? Apologies. My apologies. Same premise, though. Same premise. Not quite as severe this time, but still.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know. And who's the referee again? John Moss, isn't it? John Moss is the referee for this game tomorrow. The man that referees the middle third of the pitch better than anybody else, because that's the only part of the pitch he can referee. You think I'm joking? Watch. He referees 1/3 of the pitch.
Wasn't he James Milner's PE teacher as well? That's funny. Like, why?
He's a big lad for a referee. I'm
not even slagging about his weight. I'm actually probably more leaning towards surely he's at retirement age nearly at this point. I'm not slagging him off about his weight.
He's 50. He's well on for a ref. Like, you have to be very fit.
Man, I couldn't ref a 5-a-side game. I'm not unfit, but
I'm a qualified ref. Unfortunately, I've got to cancel my game tomorrow. So
really?
I'm here for the boys. I've got to be for the agenda, obviously.
Oh yes.
What's it like though? Do you get much abuse, Chris?
Oh,
as
mate,
a young referee?
I love it. It's character building. That's what I call it. Just
you love being abused. I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, it prepares me for like anyone says anything on social media, it just goes straight through me because I'm like, you haven't been called to see you next Tuesday by a 50-year-old bald man who's twice the size of you. Like it's frightening. So, but yeah, you can book and red card them. That's fine. That's what I do. Don't take any shit.
Absolutely.
Do you ever just want to hit someone with a slap? Be honest.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta keep it calm.
See, that's where I'd be screwed. I'd be throwing digs everywhere. I'd be no man. I'm too much of a hothead. I'd be fired. I wouldn't be disbarred or sent off. Jack Gill actually was a referee as well. I don't know what it is about you youngsters wanting to put yourselves in harm's way like that.
Yeah, it's great. It's great fun, and it's good money for beers. Going to the pub, so I can't complain.
Lovely.
There you go. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win in my prediction. I did record and put up a preview, but YouTube screwed us and put the audio out of sync an hour after the video went up. So I went for Queeveen in goal, Trent at right back, Robbo at left back. As the lad said, 2 centre-back pair in Van Dijk and Matip. Then Henderson, Milner. I went for Curtis Jones before he was ruled out injured, so I'd say Naby Keita probably slide in there. And then Bobby Firmino, Mane and Salah. So I'm going for 2-0, and I still think we're going to get a Joe Matip goal.
Yes.
He's getting on the end of a lot, to be fair, Joe Matip. He's getting his head on the end of a lot. I think he's going to get one sooner or later.
We've been poor from set pieces over as a whole, I thought, this season. Corners and everything.
Did we score all 3 of our goals against Palace from corners?
No. What?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. Was I asleep that game? I don't know if I was going to watch that. I don't know. I hear. Don't air this, man. I've had a howler. Jesus.
Yeah, I won't air the live stream, Paddy.
Well done. Yeah, there you go. I'm talking absolute. Really? Did we actually?
Yeah, and Norwich as well. We scored another one. Salah scored one from a corner.
Well, I'm thinking like I know I was talking about like corners in the box, Thunder, like because you were talking about Matip getting on the end of stuff. Headers. We used to be we were a lot better previously. We need more header goals. That's what I meant.
We need to start keeping clean sheets, gents. That's what we need to do.
Yeah,
vibes.
I don't think tomorrow is going to be the start, but unfortunately, I see a Watford goal. Ismail Star.
Somebody said, Craig, why did the second Death Star not get built on time? Obviously, the lads from the council got the tender for that job. Clearly, that's what happened there, Paddy. They went into Dublin City Council and gave the lads a gig there.
We love it. We love that. Very good.
Look, we're going to bring it to an end.
The lad who commented, he'd like to know your favourite cheese, Craig.
Easy Singles. Not even joking.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I don't. I basically give me a big version of whatever's on the kids menu when I go anywhere, mate. Basically.
Oh, that's usually me, but Easy Singles, I'd draw the line.
The good ones, not the Tesco ones. I mean the actual Easy Singles.
I usually look for Easy Singles on a night out, but not on me burgers.
I love the way he assumes we're talking burgers here, because all I was asked about was the cheese, not the accoutrement that's going along with the cheese. Like,
fair.
So would
you eat that on its own?
An Easy Single? No, Jesus, no. But on a burger, I would. Now, if I was having a toasty, I'd get the Charleville out. Do you know what I mean? I'd push the boat out a little bit.
Yeah, it gotta be.
If it's getting melted, then it's gonna be Charleville or Dublin or cheddar. But yeah, I'm basically a big kid, mate. I only eat plain food. You know, I'm that lad that makes you have to pull the car over at the drive-through because they have to make the boring ass food. I'm that guy.
Yeah, that's me. Oh, that's me to a T. I'm not even. We'll have a good night out with a couple of wings. No veg.
Camembert, mate.
Breeze good. Breeze good.
Fucking Mr. Melted Camembert over here. Mr. fucking Marks and Spencer ad. Jesus.
Hey, I'd take that. Their pies are banging. You ever had their pies?
No, we don't have them over here.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, we don't have Marks and Spencer's over here. They tried it, but then the Irish were like, nah, mate, nah, fuck that. Do you know what? I can get Lidl for that much. Are you mad?
Oh, we do have one, don't we? There's a few. Definitely off topic, but sure, look, we'll give it a go. I've never had Camembert, but we'll try it.
Paddy, you'll soon understand, mate, that our streams can go from football to cheese and onion crisps in the back of an eyelid, mate. Can be all over the shop. Look, I'm going to let these gentlemen go and enjoy their Friday evening. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be live with a watch long of the game at 12 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have a post-match show coming up with the guys as well afterwards. Before I let you go, Chris, where can everybody find you? What have you got coming up?
On YouTube at LFC Transfer Room. I do some stuff over there, so go and check that out. That'd be amazing. And then at Chris Stonage on Twitter. That's STONADGE, because no one knows how to spell my name.
So it's at Chris Stonage on Twitter.
But, mate,
it's not though, really. It's Chris Stonage.
Throwback to reception in year 1 in primary school. That's all I got.
And Mr. Murphy, where can people find you?
Yeah, well, I have a channel on here, Mr. Paddy Murphy. It's not that active, but we'll get there. TikTok is the main one. Instagram, Twitter, all Mr. Paddy Murphy. If you really want to see more of me, that's where you can go. I don't know why you would, but listen,
I would.
If you're strange, go ahead.
There you go. And what is your favourite cheese, Paddy, before we finish up?
Oh, well, I love a stinky old, like, cheddar, like a nice mature cheddar. Can't beat the old classics, but I do like it.
I can't be
I like a brie. I like a brie when I go to a restaurant as a starter.
Well, we have a couple of posh cunts on the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Camembert and Mr. Smelly Cheese over there himself. I've been Craig Easy Single Holden. It's been loads of fun tonight. It's been a bit different. We kind of went on a tangent tonight, but look, I've enjoyed it and we'll enjoy it tomorrow. Look, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard where you can find the guys. Thank you for coming on again, gents, and you guys for watching.
Pleasure.
Don't forget, drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.